night she dances free, spreading love like confetti glee. Katie Moonchild, shining so bright, bringing joy in the dark of night.
Hey everybody, good to see you all. Hi. Welcome. Good to see you. I'm trying to decide which chat do I want to look at. How are you guys? I hope you're good today. Hi Dolly. Hi Flowing. Good to see you guys. Hello out there, the lurkers. I'm happy you're here. I love my lurkers. I hope you're doing something that you enjoy doing while you're watching me, or listening at least. Hey, thank you. Good to see you guys. I hope you had a good weekend this weekend. I did. Pretty quiet. I was pretty focused on giving the body a workout again. But yeah, I'm getting that garden ready. Hey, Fatima. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Mwah. If I can get it right. We're making donuts. I'm making apples instead of hearts. I love you guys. I tell ya. Yeah, I've been finishing filling up that big, long, was it 10 foot? 14 foot? I can't even remember anymore. My big, long raised bed. I've had to fill it from the start with soil. So you remember last year I bought that big old mound of soil? It's almost flat. It's almost gone because it's all in that thing. It's in that big old long, well, here, let me show you what I'm working on. Just grab me a picture and show you. That big old long, here we go. This was where I was yesterday. Turn it sideways so it's a little bit bigger. This was yesterday morning. See? I have just that one piece on the end to finish. Give you a better idea. That's rosebush underneath the black screen. And underneath this green right here, that's part of my soaker tub. I just didn't have any place to put that screen, so I just tossed it over the soaker tub. You're dealing with a very bad sore throat. Oh, I'm sorry. Donuts always sound good. I'm sorry, babe. You guys have had it up there as far as snow. My goodness. Here you go. This is the picture you needed to see. This gives you an idea, the full length. I'm going to put tomatoes at one end and I think corn at the other end. I have two great big cages that are just about as tall as I am to hold my stuff. But you see, this end down here is the last that I have to do. And that's a good 10 inches deep, 12 inches deep. And I know it's at least 10 foot long. That's a lot of soil for this fibromyalgia body to move. But it's taken all of my resin energy. Hi! Yeah, so. Oh, the soil's all, for the most part. At this end, yeah, at the end I'm filling, it's nice and loose. The other end is where I started last year. And so, but it's really not hard soil It's I was complaining a lot last year about it getting hard, going to be too hard when I watered it. No, it just makes the silly stuff, makes a crust on the top, and then water just kind of wants to sit there. It doesn't penetrate through fast. And some plants it needs to go on through. So yeah, I was complaining that I just didn't know the soil very well. Well, it's been out in that pile getting rained on for a year. You know, weather. Not like we've had a lot of rain. It's been getting sunbaked for a year. Gets rained on, then it gets sunbaked, then it rains and sunbaked. So all the really fine stuff has been down at the bottom. That's what's ended up at this end, which is kind of good because that's where I plan on putting the tomato. It'll really like that really fluffy dirt. So, but yeah, it's, I've been really trying just in case. I kind of panicked. I got the weather report for this week. When I saw it last week, I panicked. On Friday, I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And it's never been over 100 this early. And then, I mean, the earliest I can remember in 40 plus years is April 1st. It's supposed to be 100 on Friday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're supposed to be between 100 and 103. I panicked, wouldn't you? I was like, oh no, there goes the garden. If it goes high, temperature goes high and stays there, I'm screwed again. So I was kind of down about that. But no, goes away on Monday. We get to go cool back down to 97. But at least that's not over 100. And then yesterday I eased my worries. Went outside. I don't use a heater. And my heater is gas. I don't even have my gas turned on. So I don't use a heater in the wintertime. I just heat the room I'm in with a space heater. A little electric space heater. And it's been great this winter because I haven't had to use it very much. Well, season for the expensive. You know, you guys who live up north, your expensive utility bill is in the wintertime for heat. Me, it's in the summertime so that I can stay alive in the... You guys do it for heat. I do it for cool. So, and it's just as expensive. I mean, it's a couple $100 a month just for the electricity for the air conditioner alone. That doesn't include water and sewer and garbage. Yeah. So that's one reason I also turned off the Southwest gas, the gas. I don't use it in the summer. I have an oven and a gas stove and a gas hot water heater that no longer works. I don't need any of those. Once it starts getting in the 90s and over 100, I don't heat my shower water. Unless I do, like yesterday, get really dirty. Because the water's tepid coming out of the tap anyway. Yeah, it's all too expensive flowing. I agree. Yeah, when they mulch to make soil, sometimes, whoop, you disappeared on me. I get it. Sometimes big chunks rise to the surface as you water. Yeah, that's happened to us too. Yeah. I've got little bitsy bits of sticks and stuff that have floated up, but they've all gotten mixed back in. And I bought 2 yards of, that's on top of the 4 yards of the topsoil. I bought 2 yards, I think it was, of the earthworm inoculated soil. So it has earthworm eggs in it. And I've been keeping it nice and moist and alive. It's happy. So I put that on the roses. Speaking of roses, all 3 of them are growing. They've got leaves and all kinds of stuff. So, but I caught a lizard trying to get into one of them. They're in there trying to get the bugs, but they will also eat the new little leaves and stuff. That's what I lose a lot of my seedlings to. It's not just rabbits. So, I did some research this morning. Did a little talk with some AI. What's the best way to repel lizards? I mean, I kind of want them in there to get bad bugs, but I don't want them eating my seedlings either. You know what I mean? And I want to know what to put on my roses so that they don't munch those beautiful things. So I got to looking at it. They said peppermint, lavender, all these things that mice don't like or grow. Lemon balm. Well, I can't put lemon balm in every single pot that I have stuff growing in. That doesn't work. That won't work. So anyway, there's a bunch of plants that you can grow. The one I'm going to grow is an herb, and I've never used it before. And if I don't pick it for anything else, rue, R-U-E, rue. Yeah, cinnamon. Thank you, Flowing. Also, so I'm going to make, and the big one that they don't like the smell of is onions and garlic. Interesting, huh? So I've got a rabbit that likes to eat the tops off of my onion out there. So I have cayenne pepper. I have a big, here it is, right here. Think I'll use this in the next 10 years to cook with. That's cayenne pepper. Oh man, and I open that, and if there's any of it that gets like a dust in the air, it'll make me sneeze. It makes my eyes burn. It's potent stuff. So I'm just gonna put that. I've got some coffee grounds, some coffee filters. I have some fresh garlic in the refrigerator. I'm gonna mash, mix it with that cayenne pepper, put it in a cup, and let it steep for a while so that all that loveliness comes out, capsaicin and all that. And then I'm going to pour it through the coffee filter into a spray bottle. And I will keep those plants sprayed down with that. Hopefully that'll keep the critters from munching the plants. I have neem oil to put on them to keep down the bugs. And so far that works great. You do cinnamon with cayenne pepper? That's cool, Dolly. And that really does keep the rodents away. Birds pay no attention. Birds are fine. As long as they can have their share of tomatoes and stuff. So it's fine. I'm growing Roma tomatoes, so they're small. I always am willing to, I do it right now. What doesn't go in the earthworm container, that's the greatest kitchen waste compost. Oh my goodness. I have a Rubbermaid tub. It has shredded up newspaper and junk mail paper in the bottom. Even the shiny stuff. All your junk mail you get shredded up and put it in a big plastic tub. Then I put that straw, like they put on the side of the road when they plant. Like if they've had a place that they've cut away the side of a hill, and you'll see those big rolls of looks like straw sticking out. I got some, not the rolls, but I got some of that straw. They'll also shoot the side of a road with that straw because it's wheat straw. Wheat straw has a lot of sugar in it. That sugar makes a mat, and it keeps the dirt from eroding away until the grass or whatever they planted underneath can root and grow. Well, that's what I have for my garden for mulch. It's working really good, and because I can put it in it and put it on top too, and it's in the earthworms, along with all my, like the bottom of my vegetables and my kitchen scraps that aren't, that don't have meat in them. So, yeah, I think they hope they'll be good. It'll be all good. I know it will be. I don't know. After I got the air conditioner going yesterday, I turned it on. It works just fine. The fan alone works just fine. I'm hoping that's all I'm going to need. I like to dream. Anyway, my house gets hot and it stays hot. It's like a rock house. It's brick. It's concrete brick. So yeah, it's nice and quiet inside, but it gets hot in the summer and cold in the winter. That's backwards. Anyway, let's pull some cards now that we're 17 minutes in. You miss having a garden. You had a major garden when you were a kid. Well, I used to have a big one outside, but I no longer have a rototiller for it, that kind of stuff. So that's why I opted to do the raised beds. And besides that, they make my patio kind of pretty. They decorate the edge of my back patio back here. Um, Helps me honor the kitties because they're buried right there on the outside of where the giant rose bush pot is. And yeah, so I don't know. I feel really good. I feel really connected to Gaia. Every time I plant something, I give it to Gaia to honor it. And getting ready to been kind of rejoicing in the fact that it's so hot. I'm not going to want to go outside for 4 days. I can spend 4 days working on a resin project. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, fruits and veggies. No. Yeah, don't ever send me out in the pea patch to pick peas. You won't get very many peas in the house. They all end up coming in the house in my tummy. I love fresh peas straight from the garden. Don't bother cooking them. The other thing I love, actually, I've gotten so picky. Only tomatoes that I will eat are ones that I grow. That ripen on the vine. I am not interested in any of them from the grocery store. I haven't even given them a chance on Misfits. Maybe I ought to, huh? Your mom used to do it, Dolly. My mom used to do a giant garden. Let's see if we can get this to show. There! We'd grow tomatoes, peas, beans, peppers, cucumbers, carrots, onions, etc. Now we just grow tomatoes and cucumbers mostly. Well, I actually have in my cart the seeds for lemon cucumbers. It's the only ones I can grow here. They look like little lemons. They're a little ball. They're really good. They do have a little bit of a lemony taste to them too, and they don't get bitter. Problem is, I can grow regular cucumbers. I can grow the Armenian ones, the burpless ones. I can pickle cucumbers, all that. I can grow them, but they're bitter as hell. The pickling ones are okay, but for like cucumbers to slice and eat or whatever, have for finger foods, oh, it gets so bitter because it's just too hot. Cucumbers need the water to help make the sugar in them. And you can water them and water them and water them, and it's still not enough. So, yeah, it's interesting. Right now, it is 62 degrees, and we're under a heat advisory. 62 isn't hot, but it's supposed to be 87, I think. 80 or 90. Maybe it's 90 today. I can't keep it. Goes like each day, 5 degrees, like something like that. It's crazy. Usually it's like a degree or two up or down, not big chunks every day. And then it's gone. We go from 103 down to 97. Guy is so mad. Okay. Card. I already pulled a card for our quote of the day. And it's a good one. As I was shuffling it, it just fell out. So it's like, yep, that's the one we're supposed to have. And it comes from the life section. Learn the rules like a pro so that you can break them like an artist. Pablo Picasso. He kind of broke a few rules his whole life. Do something daring today. That's pretty much to the point. Learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. I love it. I love it. That's, a lot of artists kind of have that attitude. I would definitely say. So, yeah. Put that back up there again one more time. Okay, light, you can cool down now. I don't know why that did that. There we go. Cool. And the stone, once again, I was just messing around. Let me pull up. Here you go. Oh, Flowing, you had fig trees? You had to take them in the wintertime. We used to have one in our backyard. Our backyard? This backyard. My backyard. I used to have a fig tree. But I have Texas root rot in my soil. And it killed the tree. That's why I grow everything in pots and raised beds. The ground is literally deadly. It's so weird too because the plant will look fine, green and everything, and you'll water it and water it, and then for some reason you bump up to it or touch it and it's crispy, like fall leaves that have fallen off, and the whole plant will be dead because the fungus underneath the soil had eaten all the really, as roots grow, they may start out with a really fine hair. And as it grows out, it gets wider where it started from, right? It gets bigger. Well, this fungus eats those hairs just as soon as they appear. So the roots can't spread, can't grow, can't absorb the water, or the mycelium cannot feed the plant. So it dies. It's awful. I hate it. Texas can keep its garbage. I don't want that. Texas root rot. Say that 3 times fast. Your dad loved planting fruit trees. I love fruit trees. Main reason I love fruit trees is not necessarily because the fruit's a lot of work. Fruit's good. I love the flowers. I love when fruit trees blossom, especially peach trees. Oh, they're that vibrant, hot, almost this color, pink. Oh, they don't have the blue. Ooh, I was wondering what I had that color. Something I'm gonna make. I'm making that color. Okay. Thanks, Spirit, for having me grab that. Anyway, so our stone for today from the crystallary deck. I love it too. And sitting here, right here in front of me. Selenite is our stone today. I think most of us have that. Somewhere around in our house, our home, our life, somewhere. We have some selenite. Thought I heard a noise over there. Anyway, selenite. Look at this card. Isn't that pretty? It says it's the sacred center. I love it. You've got fire and water. There's a whale in the water emblem. And look, is that Saturn, maybe? The planet in the fire on the sun side? Really, really cool. And you notice the infinity symbol, right? But what is the infinity symbol doing? It's holding up the balance of the two, fire and water. It's holding the duality of the opposites. That's kind of cool too. So this says it is a Mohs hardness of a 2. Yeah, it's really easy to break. It's easy to splinter those little spikes off. And let me tell you, they will cut you. You know, selenite is made up of striated stone. And I could, like, here's a piece right here that's kind of loose. There's a piece right in there. See by my thumb? Pardon my dirty fingernails. Been digging in the dirt. The dirt goes through my leather work gloves too. I could pick that off, and it's really sharp. I don't want to do that though. It's down here charging up a bunch of crystals that I have sitting down there. That's the thing about selenite. Because it is the sacred center of duality, the sacred center of eternity, it charges everything with positive energy. So it says, okay, Katie, I need better glasses. I was named for a goddess of the moon. Selenite hoots. The moon is a dark thing, but I am light. My light refracted, what? Redispersed. Yeah, I am yeah, okay. Not light refracted, reflected, or redispersed. No, I am brightness shining from within. I am also wellspring, not a mirror. That wellspring is where the energy comes from that it charges things with. Selenite reminds you that you can be a source of light. Consolidate your energy so that you can let it shine, not just for yourself, but for those around you. You are multidimensional, selenite insists. Yeah, like the striations in the stone itself. You hold within you the energies of the moon and sun and earth, of mind and of of wind and fire and water. You are life and you are light density. You don't have a choice. You can both shine and reflect when the flow between your polarities, yeah, when the flow between your polarities, you can come to sacred center. Basically recognize the two sides of everything to find the balance in the center. I know a lot of us, it's hard to know what's the truth. Best example I can give is the example everybody is talking about. Netanyahu's speech. He had 6 fingers. What the hell? He put his hand up like this, and there was 5 of these beauties and a thumb. So, how do we know what to believe that we're looking at? Oh yeah, you want to look at the back of the card? You know what to believe that you're looking at. You've got to come and find your sacred center. That's where the truth lives. That is where your inner child is. You know, told that we're a sponge as a child, which we really are. But I don't know about you, when things didn't make, I was told something and it didn't make sense to me, I would question that, depending on who had told it to me, who had spoken it to me, whether I would vocalize that or not. And that's when I learned a lot about setting boundaries and working with your intuition and affirmations and that kind of thing. There's so much out there that is out of our control. It's not supposed to be in our control. What's under our control is how we learn to deal with it. So, here's a really good example. I told you I was going to tell you the story of St. Patrick and why we have St. Patrick's Day, which, by the way, this is my green today. It's not showing up very green on the camera, though. I swear it's green, 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 grass green. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. I don't always observe it, but this year I'm observing my Irish that I didn't think I used to have. But I find out I am Northern Ireland in my DNA. So, the story of St. Patrick. When, I'm trying to think, this is after the 4th century. After the Romans left Great Britain, they knew that in the northern parts, the people they were the most afraid of were the Celts, the Druids, the Gauls, because they fought so ruthlessly. And they believed so strongly. That's what's it. So the Pope, he was like the 2nd or 3rd Pope. He was very new at this. They were trying to establish the Christian church, the Catholic Church, in all of that heathen area in the northern parts of the UK. That's Scotland, Northern Ireland, and most of the UK. And those people just were not going to give up how they believed. So, the Pope sent Patrick. He was fresh, he was bright, pretty much fresh out of seminary. He was ready, he had the energy of seminary. I'm going to serve my Lord and do what I am told to do. The Pope sent Patrick to Ireland to get rid of the snakes. There's no snakes in North Scotland, Northern Ireland. It's like cold, man. Not a lot of snakes up there, okay? Do you know what the snakes were? What is really, really shows a lot in our spiritual symbolism. We got the Ouroboros snake. We have the infinity sign, which sometimes is shown as the Ouroboros snake. So, use that pagan symbol to represent the people who believed and were pagans. Run their leaders out or make them convert. That's what he was sent there for. The people, the Druids, the people that the spiritual leaders, they didn't They didn't work so good with the new church. So the whole idea was to get them to convert, force them to convert, or run them out. And that's your story of St. Patrick. And that's why I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Plus, I don't drink. I do like corned beef and cabbage, but you might as well have that on any Jewish holiday because it's not Irish. Corned beef and cabbage is Jewish. Rose, how are you? Good to see you. You're a little late. 8:30. But, we're just kind of getting going here. um, and so I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day because I believe in letting people believe the way they want to believe. You don't force people. I mean, talk about patriarch. Anyway, talk about the church wanting to control the people. Yeah. Corned beef and cabbage is so good. If the Irish fix anything, it's Irish stew, which is made with lamb. Has nothing to do with beef, corned or not. Yeah. You're going to take a Tylenol and take another nap. Your head feels like it weighs a ton. Oh, darling, I want you to feel better. Let's say prayers for her, you guys. She says so many for us all the time. Fatima, we hold you up, and I'm holding space for you. I love you, my sweet sister. Please, go rest. Take care of yourself. I know there's some nasty bugs going around, so. Hey, look at the energy. I don't know about you guys. I've been fighting being stuck and all that kind of stuff too. So I wanted to tell you, it's how, let's talk a little bit about boundaries. We all need to set boundaries. But I wanted to make sure that you understand, I guess, that why we're setting the boundaries are more as much for ourselves as for other people. We set boundaries so that we can see how other people's behavior may not work with ours. So that boundary you have, you don't have to tell them, well, I have such and such a boundary set and you don't fit. You don't have to do that. The boundary is for you to know. You don't have to express it at all. You just quietly and peacefully make your exit. Now you want a corned beef sandwich. Well, I always want corned beef. Corned beef or pastrami. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Reuben sandwiches. My problem with Reuben sandwiches is I'm not a sauerkraut girl. I love corned beef though. I love fermented foods. I don't know what it is about sauerkraut. I'll eat sauerkraut if I could put a lot of mustard on it. Yellow mustard, not Dijon. French's, that stuff you put on a hot dog. Well, some people put that other kind on a hot dog too. I get the cheap yellow stuff. My dad and I used to make mustard sandwiches, so hey, I love yellow mustard. Anyway, so I was just talking to my little friend Beatrice here. You remember Beatrice? You guys remember her? Our little wisdom chicken. I cleaned her up a little bit. I took some rubbing alcohol to her so that you could see her face. It was kind of dark before. I love her hat. Let's see what kind of wisdom Miss B has for us. Got these. There's a bunch of them clumped up together. I can break them up. Weird how they'll like to clump up like that. Ooh, I love rye bread. Rose. Seedless rye, Swiss cheese, and cold sauerkraut. I can skip the cold sauerkraut, but you know what? I got cheesy brats, and I got rye. Oh, I got dark pumpernickel rye. I've got truffle cheddar cheese. Girlfriend, guess what I'm doing when we're done here? And I have some mesquite, because I don't have corned beef. I have some mesquite smoked turkey breast. And I'll just slice myself up and make myself a nice sandwich. You guys are making me so. I know. Why do we do this on this show? We're really big. We come in here hungry. I know it's kind of lunchtime for you guys on the East Coast, so maybe that's why. I'm just getting my day started. That's funny. What I got was, oh, I didn't bring the book in. Number 168. Your potential is endless. Believe it. That's your fortune for this week, you guys. Your potential is endless. Believe it. So now we're going to do that 168 since I don't have the Kyle Gray book in here. It's in the bedroom. 168. So add the 1 and the 6 is a 7. And add the 7 and the 8 makes 15. Add the 1 and the 5 is 6. So we get a 6 out of all of that. Pulled out my cheat sheet. And 6 is harmony, cooperation, and healing. And boy, oh boy, does that ever go with the saying. Harmony, cooperation, and healing. Your potential is endless. Believe it. Harmony, cooperation, and healing. I love that. Thank you, ma'am. What a wonderful, wonderful quote. I'm going to remember that today. Good things happening today. So far, so good. You know what's best for me? I'm not moving dirt today. I'm done till after the heat goes away. My back was really hurting last night, and I started having neuropathy pains in my feet, and that's bad. So it's time to quit. So let's pick some stones out of here. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to do today. I'm actually going to make brownies today. Relax. Okay, down here in this corner. Let's do that one. I like that. Hope. Ah, and love. I dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. Yeah. Good deal. Let's use the self-care cards to go with that. What do you say? Woo, that one jumped out. Did you see that? Okay, for relax. That's perfect. We get deep breathing. I love it. Keep deep breathing until you get light-headed. Breathe in the good air. Breathe out the bad. And let all that oxygen trigger your DMT zone in your brain. You want to journey? You want to travel? You have to start with the deep breathing. And this is a 10 card, which you know is of completion. Without deep breathing and the ability to do so, we are complete. We cannot survive. Also, through the deep breathing and meditation and focus, it brings in relaxation. That's nice. I like that card. Give me another one. Here's one. Sticking up. What we get for hope is the second card. They kind of represent hope. I don't know about you guys, but look for the fairies. We've gotten this before. That is number 30 or number 3. I love it. Hey, Kelly. Oh, I'm glad you were sleeping. Welcome. Good to see you, hon. Yeah. Look for the fairies. Number 30. That's your hope. I'm going to read what the book tells us about the fairies. I hope you're well today, Kelly. First of all, here's a mantra for you. What I believe, I see appear before me. So, do you believe in fairies? You want to see fairies? You got to believe they're real. Keep your eyes and ears open for evidence of fairies and other ethereal beings. Remember, they're genuinely all around you. They're brimming with creative ideas and guidance to help you on your journey. You just have to tune in to their presence, but first you have to believe that they exist. Isn't that what I just said? To see them, you got to believe they are real. Let me tell you, do you lose a shoe or a sock and then have it appear out of nowhere? Do you lose your keys and you tear the house apart looking for them, but you know they have to be here because you drove your freaking car home? And you will go through every closet, and then all of a sudden your head will go, they're in your coat pocket. That's what I get. It's like, oh, thanks. Did you check your backpack? That's what I usually get. I can't find my keys. It's like, where was the last time you used them? They have a tendency to be a little snarky, but I love my fairy friends. So, yeah, my garden out there. That's all where I place the flowers and all that. That is all for them. That's their garden back here. Where my food and all that'll be. It's all their space. So, what I believe, I see appear before me. So if you want to see fairies and you want to have fairies to bring hope into your life, you got to believe they're real. They are. They mess with you constantly. They're trying to get your attention all the time. So, now what do we need for the love card? Woohoo! That's interesting. For the love card, we get build strength. What's the number on that card? Number 6. Okay. Look what she's looking at the world through. She's got her eyes closed. She's working out. But her focus is not coming out of her eyeballs that's attached to her brain. She's got her third eye wide open, and that's how she's seeing her fight. And I'm looking at all the colors around her. They're like rainbows, but yet they're not in a rainbow, like rainbow in the sky kind of order like we're used to. And they're not in a chakra type order either. She's definitely hearing her own guidance. That's why she's looking at her workout and everything she's doing with her third eye. Had 6 earlier. Yeah, we did, didn't we? That happens a lot. So, for love, you gotta look at everything not through these eyes and this brain and ego. You gotta do it here and here. And you'll know the truth. Like Netanyahu with his 6 fingers. And I was like, getting ready to leave in the comments. Look at his blink rate. He never blinks. He's just talking. Blink. Talking. Blink. And so that's what I'm looking at. I'm not even looking at the dude's hands. You know, as somebody who used to be a computer programmer, that is something really basic. Why can't they get that right? People have 5 hands. 5 hands? Yeah, we all got 5 arms. 5 fingers on each hand. That's basic, like 2 eyes, 1 nose, and a mouth. Why can't AI get that right? An extra arm coming out over here. Oh, sorry. I get giggly. When I start picking apart AI, yeah. It's yeah. It's not gonna do the damage people think it's gonna do right now because it's gonna fall apart first. Because it's operated and run by people who are focused on greed. And it doesn't heal, doesn't do anything but hurt people. So it can't survive. It can't keep going. That's a basic law of the universe. It'll go by the wayside eventually because it can't survive. Something that survives completely on destruction eliminates its source of sustenance eventually because it's destructing it. I know that's kind of... Anyway, I'm just sitting here looking at my pencil holder. It's not really a pencil holder. I gotta make one. I got these 2 new spatulas. Look at this. Look how that's curved. And look how thin that is on the end. And on this outer edge. That'll be great for scraping resin. And look, it just fits just right in your hand to scrape. See how it's hitting my hand? Isn't that cool? I got a whole bunch of them for like $7. So I have one for resin and one for glittery resin because glitter doesn't like coming off silicone after a while. And it's silicone spatulas. Cool. The Middle Eastern countries give money. Yeah. Finding out who he has always been. We're getting shelled. Yeah. Finding out dear leader don't care. No, dear leader doesn't care. What they're shocked by is they thought they were going to just like go in and clean house, then go in and build their fancy schmancy places to live for all them rich people. They thought that Iran was going to go, oh no, they're mad at us. Have you ever seen, have you ever heard the story of Hannibal? Go look in history. The Persians have never been one to go, oh, woe is me about anything. There's a reason why nobody wanted to do it before. Because it's a gigantic can of worms. That's a Pandora's box that he just opened up. And I'm just watching it all play out. It all has to, because we're trying to get rid of this desire for war, for controlling at any cost and all cost. We can't have a new society until that part dies out. So that's why we work so hard at sending our light. And then what we do is end up being a lighthouse for all this negative stuff. But, you ever try to climb a lighthouse on the outside of the building? You won't get very far. So let that stuff hit you and fall off. Nope. Nope. The whole world is afraid of the Persian army. Like I said, go look at the story of Hannibal. He took, 30 elephants over the Alps? Yeah, Persians. So that he could fight the Greeks? Yeah. And the Greeks saw the elephants and thought they were demons from what in the world is that? When the elephants came over. So, yeah. Only reason I brought up Hannibal in particular is because I just watched on PBS The Secrets of the Dead. They think they found, I think it's Secrets of the Dead. Pretty sure that's what the show was. It may have been on Nova, but they think that they found one of the actual camping spots where those 4,000 men and all those elephants were, which is something brand new they never found proof of. They always thought, well, maybe that was just Hannibal and elephants going over the Alps. Maybe that was just legend. No. When will modern people start paying attention? Yeah, they were badass. Modern man needs to pay attention to the indigenous and ancient stories and ways, because there's truth about hidden beings in there that we're too arrogant in our science brains to want to admit that exist, like fairies, Bigfoot. I mean, I'll go on and on and on. We got all these quote unquote cryptids. Yeah. It is so sad for everyone in the region. Your home country is Lebanon. I know. And that's Yahoo is Libby. I love it because that's what Libby calls Netanyahu. She calls him Yahoo. Because Yahoo's, going to go. He's like bombing Beirut because he wants to go after Hamas. And it's like, Yahoo, I've heard the same rhetoric coming out of his mouth since, God, Bill Clinton was president. I think that's when Yahoo got him first voted in, was when Bill Clinton was president. He's been voted in and out a couple times. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird to me that the news isn't covering Lebanon very much. Well, no, that doesn't surprise me, considering that the chairman of the FCC put out to send notice to all of the news outlets and platforms that if you were going to put out negative information or news about this regime, they'd pull your license. So here you go. It's starting. You know, that dude that's in charge of the FCC, he's one of the authors of Project 2026. So, whoop, I was waiting for this. Yeah, they gave money to Dumpy and found out it didn't protect him. No, exactly. Doesn't usually protect. You know, the con artist doesn't usually care two shits about the con, only about the money. And if the con, well, whatever happens to the con, happens to the con. They're gone by that time. Yeah, that millionaire that I used to work for. That's what most of his salesmen were. They were all con artists, including him. But he's in prison, so, well, he's probably out by now. FCC threatened to take their licenses. Yeah, they did. Yep. Allergy-free allergy. Yeah, I'm allergic to all this too. Agenda-free TV has been covering bombing of Lebanon since day one. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know about it. Yeah, I watch Al Jazeera, BBC. I watch news outlets from other countries. If I want to know what's going on in my country, I've never relied on the news from this country. Um, they're too busy protecting this one and this one and this one and this one. And, oh, don't tell all on that. You know, the people can't handle that. Well, guess what? They're finding out the people can handle a hell of a lot more than they thought they could. Epstein files, for instance. I mean, that's not something funny. They never thought we could handle sex. Now look what we're having to handle. So disgusting to me and triggering. Oh my God. Yeah, I love the BBC. You do have to be careful though. Doing international sources like that. RT. Stay away from RT. Gee, guess what that stands for? Russian television. I used to get all kinds of stuff during the first iteration of this regime. I used to get all kinds of stuff from them in my feed. And it was like, you know what? I know what you are. Get away. I complained to Google. It's like, why are you shoving this crap at me? Oh, France 24. Thanks, Rose. Yeah. You know, I used to really like the Al Jazeera America channel. I really liked it. They had a show on what it's like to be somebody who is leaving their homeland and everything that they love because they can't stay there anymore. It's not safe for them to be there anymore. And the journey that they take to get from their little coffee plantation or their little coffee farm that they're just walking away from with the clothes on their backs to try to get here for a better life. And we call them criminals. And round them up and collect them up in warehouses and then just kind of lock the door and forget about them or torment them, torture them, whatever. Sorry. I'm back. This all has got to stop. You know, it's just like the other day I was watching YouTube and in every one of my comments, all I put was no more. Or I put enough. Or I put, well, especially after we started this Iran thing, I put, so when is Barron being drafted? Or did he inherit Daddy's bone spurs? You know, he grew so tall so fast. Yeah, former accountant dropped a whole bunch of information. The big thing that's going to be giving us a lot of information as far as Epstein stuff goes is they're in the middle of tearing into the ranch in New Mexico. So, and that's where the really horrible stuff happened. The stuff that they really want to hide. There's a reason why that got shut down by Bill Barr. They didn't even look into it. Bill Barr needs to be called in. You know, they called Clinton in and the Clintons in to talk. I want to know what Barr's got to say on this. He's up to here with it. You know, too tall. Yeah, too tall. They won't take him. He's too tall. He's a target. Oh, sorry. I won't finish that. Poor kid. One of these days, he's going to hide the fact what his last name, the last name he was born with. I don't think that's going to be the name he dies with. They're all going to have to change their name. You're second. Flowing, I am second and third generation, and I knew the people who came here, for crying out loud. My great-grandfather wanted to go back and died before he could at 51 years old. Yeah, that's sad. I didn't know the people who came here. My people came here a long time ago. I didn't know my great-grandfather either. My Arizona pioneer, I didn't know him either. I didn't even know my grandma, his daughter. She passed away before I was born. But that's because I was born late in my parents' life. My mom was 37. My dad was 35 when I was born. So, and it wasn't for trying. That ranch makes you cry. I've seen and heard cries coming from the land. That ranch is awful. Yeah. I'm with you there, Flowing. When I was a little kid, one of my favorite stories and heroes, you know how you have your heroes as kids, you know, whether they're Transformers or whatever now. For me, I loved Zorro. So the fact that they named that ranch, that sickens me inside, because there's more than two bodies there. Yeah, your mom was 20 and your dad was 23. Yeah, see, my parents were older. Well, my mom had already had a son. He was 17. So, with her previous husband who'd passed away. So, yeah. All the secrets are buried at Zorro Ranch. So, I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about that. I'm all for keeping this an open space. If you're feeling triggered by something and you want to talk about it in here, just come at it as though, you guys, I'm really upset about this. Can we talk about it a little? And I'm sure that the rest of us will be here for that. Not by the federal government. Not by the state either. It needs to be, never used again. It needs to be burned down. The problem is if the state or the federal government owns it, they're part of the problem. A couple of governors of New Mexico, part of the reason they didn't investigate. Very, very popular governor of New Mexico was in the Epstein files, so go figure. And that really bothers me because that means chances are he didn't have to go very far. His ranch, from what I gather, is not very far away. So I don't think they can tell us everything, Dolly, because there's too much. It is such a gigantic web of international wealthy, wealthy, wealthy people that are involved. Getting real justice for everybody involved is going to be very difficult. And even then, we won't hear all the details because, once again, they don't think the public can handle it. And rightly so, I think, in some of this. Some of this we don't need to know. Do we really need to know there's monsters like this out there so prolifically? I guess we did, because to make sure we don't allow it to happen anymore in this new world we're going to create, we have to know, don't we? The light has to be shown on all the darkness, and the darkness can't run and hide anymore, and it's freaking the freak out. I agree. I want all of the, and I don't want to call them victims, I want all of the children involved to have their justice. It has nothing to do with the rest of us. It's them. Dolly, do I remember when what? Come back here. I'm trying to get that to come back. Oh, all along they've been trying to say that Bill and Hillary were up to their eyeballs at the island and everywhere. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. You also remember, before he became a Republican and went down that escalator, he was a really good friend of the Clintons. Was at Chelsea's wedding. You know who else was at Chelsea's wedding? Lady G. Or Madam G, what they called her. Sorry, Lady G is Lindsey Graham. Oh, he might have been there too, but I kind of doubt it. You got out of sync? Oh, honey, that happens. Yeah, now that they're covering for each other now. Yeah, they never thought anything had come out. You know, egos, when you become famous, rich, your ego doesn't let you know what the rest of us know is reality. You don't get to see that anymore. If you ever got to see it at all, because you're a hoarder trying to get there in the first place. Oh, you know what? Rose, I couldn't agree with you more. If they, I don't care if there's only 100 people in Congress. It can still function. It sure can. Probably better. The reason I had that reaction to your comment, though, is they're all going to be gone. They are all going, yeah, they're all deplorable people. Every time I go on it to get it to go, make that thing go away, it moves up one. I get another one. Yeah. Uh, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not just some Democrats. I'm completely disappointed in all of them. I don't understand why they're voting the way they vote, except for one reason. They're bought and paid for too. So there's no difference. Your senator is the worst. Fetterman? Isn't that your senator, Kelly? Hey, I got Mark Kelly. Right when I start to believe in him, he does something stupid. So I don't know what to do there. I am watching and I am paying very close attention, and that's all I can do. I am not diving into the deep details, but I'm paying enough attention to see how they're voting, who voted for what and who didn't vote for what, or vice versa. And yeah, you got a pretty bad senator too. Yeah. My opinion, just to get rid of all of the corruption and the bullshit that's gone on, we need to just wipe the state slate clean and start all over. And that's scary. But look, when they did it the first time around, they didn't have anything much to build it off of. This time, we do. We know what worked and what didn't work, right? You have Duckworth and Durbin. Oh, goody, goody. Yeah, I have Mr. Crypto Lover. God, I can't even remember his name right at the moment. I keep forgetting because I don't support him anymore. I used to. I have Juan Ciscomani in Congress. I have Adelita Grijalva in Congress, which you all should know her. Man, oh man, did she have a hard time getting sworn in. Holy crap. And she's just filling her dad's seat. He died of prostate cancer after being senator for over 20 years here in Tucson. But, you know, I got Mark Kelly. Now, Mark Kelly is different than his wife. Just going to say, I loved him because he married her and he loved her. And I adore her. He's not her. Yeah. Oh, Gabrielle Giffords is wonderful. She's, yeah. When she got shot, that was awful. But anyway, we won't go down that road. That's in the past. The past is done. Right? So, to relax, do your deep breathing. So that you can relax, get into a meditative state, or just let it all go out the top of your head. For hope, look for the fairies. Look for those little beings that you've been told all your life don't exist. You know, unicorns, fairies, trolls. They're all out there. Gremlins, they're there. Yeah. And then for love, we got build strength. And that being the 6th card. It's about manifestation, stability, and foundation. Knowing where your strength comes from and bolster it and build it up. Your strength doesn't come from your analytical mind. Doesn't come from your physical prowess or ability. It comes from a place that is residing, is just the switch for that part of you that is residing in this flesh container. All those colors on the outside, that's the rest of you. That's your higher self. All those bits and pieces, all those colors represent something else that's a part of you. Oh yeah, he's being influenced by her. He loves her very much. And I didn't think he would run for president because of how hard it would be on her to be first lady if he won. But I find out this whole time he's been in Washington and traveling around and campaigning for people and doing stuff. she's been doing her anti-gun lobby thing. It hasn't slowed her down at all. So, God bless Gabrielle Giffords. Just amazes me. She's a lot stronger than I gave her credit for. I'll put it that way. She's ready to fight. She's got to fight back. So, yeah, he's influenced by her. I think when I started looking at him through more skeptical, I kind of idolized him because of the space shuttle. So when I started looking at him in more human, fallible eyes, was when he was talking about how he really didn't want to, but he finally found a buyer for his Tesla that he had just taken receival of, but he couldn't have it. That's when Doge was doing their thing. And I was like, okay. And my neighbor across the street drives a Tesla. And I've been spending a lot of time outside. You can hear it. Neighbor next door hates electric vehicles because she thinks for handicapped people, they're dangerous because you can't hear them. And I'm going, well, maybe I can hear him when he's coming down his driveway, turning and going down the street. It sounds like a science fiction movie. I can hear that whir of the engine that it has. May not be a combustion engine, but I can hear it. I have very good hearing. For a girl who was really into rock bands, and really back in the day when they were comparing the decibels in a rock concert to standing next to a 747 jet engine. Yeah, that was me. I can remember going to see, who was it? I think that was the second time I saw Van Halen. Anyway, that was a rowdy concert. Yeah, they had to stop the concert and made people move back because they were squishing people. That was when they had stadium seating down in the front. You could stand in the front. And people in the back, you just kind of have a tendency to, you're looking up at that stage and all the lights and the performance and everything. And you don't realize that leaning forward, you take a step forward and you take a step. Next thing you know, people in the back are squishing the people in the front up next to the stage. They had to stop the concert twice to make people move back. That's before I knew I was an empath. Now I can't even go in a darn shopping mall. I have a hard time going to a movie theater if it's full of people because my body wants to try to read them all at once and I can't. And so it gets frustrated. I open the door to go in a shopping mall and it's like energy coming at me. I hate it. There's a Philly's cheesesteak place in one of the only shopping malls still open here. I don't think they're going to be open a whole lot longer either. And then there's a movie theater in there. And that's why they're open. It's a movie theater and their food court has really good food. So, and luckily both of them are just right inside the very entrance into the mall. It's like you go this way into the food court and this way into the movie theater. So I just go in these one doors and that's it. And I'm right back out again. I don't go the rest of the way in. Just can't do it anymore. I didn't know what that feeling was that I would get every time I'd go to the mall. I thought it was exhilaration. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to shop. I'm going to spend money. How fun. It was all of the energy in the place of all the other people who had money, didn't have money, people spending money they're not supposed to, and all that going on. And yeah, Dolly met Eddie Van Halen in the 90s when Sammy Hagar was the lead singer. I made out with Eddie and he was married. He did it, not me. You didn't reciprocate? What's wrong with you? the solid state battery is complete and much smaller, I buy the kit and put it in the classic car body. Yeah, costs less money to do it that way and have real steel and personality. I think they're going to have so many alternatives for cars that all this stuff, this big fight over oil, is useless. Because, okay, so we end up controlling the oil in the Middle East. Goody. What good's that going to do us? Gaia won't let us use it anymore. That we're literally burning her blood. I look at oil, crude oil in the earth is her very blood. She can't allow that for a whole lot longer. You did for a moment until you said to yourself, oh my God, he's married. I think I would have been more like, oh my God, he's a notorious drunk. Does he even know what he's doing? Oh, I loved Van Halen. First time I saw Van Halen, 75, 76. It had to be 76 because it was in 76 or 77 because I was in college at the time. And I graduated from high school in 76. So, they were brand new. They had their first album out and they came and played at the college. And all I could think of was, if David Lee Roth moves and stretches his legs anymore, he's going to split his pants in half, because he had on leather pants that he obviously had put on soaking wet because they were literally pushing into his skin. They weren't skin tight. They were his skin. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite Van Halen album too, is their first one. The one with Ice Cream Man. Was a confession, but a memory too. Well, that's what my mind was going back in those days. You were probably in the same state of mind he was, so hey, go for it, girlfriend. I just actually watched a video with Valerie Bertinelli a while ago. She dyed her hair gray. She looks freaking fantastic. Oh my word. I need to do something with my hair. I'm not going to dye it though. I did that. Been there, done that. I just need to cut it. I need to do something. I mean, look at this ponytail. It's off the picture. It's still. It chokes me at night. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at the time. I've gone a half hour over. That's all right with me. It's all right with you guys. I don't mind. Let me go ahead and give you our nighttime quote. The daytime one was, learn the rules like a pro so that you can break them like an artist. Pablo Picasso. Do something daring today. And for tonight, I got to see who it is first. I can't. They print in a color that you can't see the name. See what I mean? Who is that? Who said that? There we go. Oh, Audrey Decarp. Clement's wife, maybe? It's hard to make a difference in the world when you follow the rules. If you had no barriers, where would you want to be in life right now? Wow, that's a good question, because that's really where we're at. So much of our systems and structures are falling by the wayside because they just don't work anymore. They're holding us all back. You need lunch? I need lunch too. I got that sandwich on the brain from earlier. That makes so much sense, though. If you had no barriers, where would you want to be in life right now? That's something for you to think about today. As you're going about doing your deep breathing to relax, looking for fairies because that's where hope's at, and building your strength in love. Today, if you had no barriers, what or where would you want to be in your life right now? And then now, picture that in your brain. Now, today, I want you to go through your life like what you're wanting in your life has happened. Live it. Pretend like you're living that life you want right now. Do that every day. Before you know it, you're living the life you want. You've manifested your dream. You can't do it by doing prayers and affirmations and all that on it over and over every day. What happens to you when you hear a dog barking, barking, barking? You shut it out after a while. You only need to ask once, and when you do, surrender the answer. If you've got an issue, I've had a few recently where I have just been, I didn't know what to do. I'm at a loss. I have tried everything and it's just not working. So I will go, okay, you obviously know what needs to be done. I don't. I need a miracle here. So I give it to you. I can't do it by myself. And then I'll stop. And it's really interesting because once you do that, once you say those words, I give it to you to help me because I cannot do it by myself. How freeing that can be. And that's what I want you guys to be, is free. Free to love, free to believe the way you want to believe, and free to live in a Quonset hut or a mansion. It's your life. I want you to be free to live it your way. We'll all be here doing the same thing and sharing what we all learned together. Does that sound like a good idea? I think so. I love you guys, and I think it's time I send you on your way so we can all go get a sandwich. What do you say? Thanks for hanging with me for an hour and a half. My gosh. Oh, I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you on the next one. I have Saturday Solutions. By the way, if last week's Saturday Solution really spoke to you, I think you should know I record those on Wednesdays or Thursdays. So, yeah. Sometimes Saturday morning I wake up and go, oh my God, my reading really fit. But it's spirit talking to you guys through me, not me. So I love you. Come see Dolly tomorrow morning. She says she's going to be live at 10 Central. And just a little reminder, Sonia's going to be on vacation. So she's not going to be live this week. In the meantime, can I ask you for some prayers, please? That my air conditioner continues to work very good this week. Because beginning Thursday, it's 100, then 101, and then 103, and then 103, and then Monday it's 97. Give me the strength and enough cool air to make it through the 4 days of the heat wave. And then I will pray for you all because it's moving east and it's going to mess with the weather big time if it messes with it. If it mixes with a cold front, say above Nebraska, Oklahoma, Tornado Alley, that area needs our prayers anyway, this time of year. So I love you guys. I'm going to send you out so you can have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and if you're eating corned beef and cabbage, have some for me too.
KD Moonchild tearing fears apart.